Relying on a single supplier may create risk. Companies should not only focus on finding a suppliers that can produce at a competitive cost, but also a partner that can grow with them over time.
Hello everyone, welcome to this new video. My name is Ashley. Today with me I have Miss Kim of FVSource, our business development representative for German market. Today we are going to discuss more about strategy on how to build a sustainable supply chain in Vietnam. Hello chị Kim.
Yeah. Hello Ashley, thank you for inviting me today.
For a lot of our customers, building a supply chain in Vietnam is not an easy job. They would have to invest a lot of money, invest a lot of time, effort into building their first relationship with the factory, and then after time they would be able to build and maintain the supply chain. So what are the key elements that you think would be important in this journey of creating and maintaining a supply chain in Vietnam?
A sustainable supply chain in Vietnam is usually built on three main elements: reliable partners, strong communications, and long-term collaborations. Companies should not only focus on finding a suppliers that can produce at a competitive cost, but also a partner that can grow with them over time. This means investing in relationship, maintaining regular communications, and aligning expectations regarding qualities, deliveries, and production planning. When both sides view the collaboration as a long-term partnership rather than a short-term transaction, the supply chain becomes much more stable.
As someone working, living, and having a lot of experience with Western companies, in this case Germany, what do you think a company in the West should do in order to maintain a good relationship with a factory in Vietnam?
Thank you for the questions. Long-term relationship with supplier are built through consistency and trust. Foreign companies that maintain regular communication, visit factories, and involve suppliers in long-term planning usually build stronger partnerships. It's also important to treat suppliers as strategic partners rather than simply cost-driven vendors. When suppliers feel that the relationship is stable and mutually beneficial, they are more likely to prioritize the partnership and invest in improving production capabilities.
Some of our customers have shared with us that it's not always easy to maintain the quality when they outsource their manufacturing in Vietnam. Actually, this issue is not new. It's not something that only happens in Vietnam, but in manufacturing in general. But in this case, do you have any advice for companies who would like to maintain the quality for their production in factories here?
Maintaining consistent quality requires a structured approach. Companies should establish clear quality standards and implement regular quality control processes. This can include periodic factory audits, production monitoring, and clear documentations of product specifications. It is also helpful to work closely with suppliers to continuously improve processes and address issues early. When quality management becomes part of the long-term partnership, consistency usually improves significantly.
In the recent years, we've heard a lot about China plus one strategies. Companies everywhere are pressured to diversify their supply chain. What do you think about the importance of diversification in choosing your suppliers and diversification in building your supply chain in Vietnam?
Supplier diversification can play an important role in strengthening supply chain resilience. Relying on a single supplier may create risk. If production capacity becomes limited or unexpected disruptions occur, some companies choose to develop secondary suppliers or work with multiple partners for critical components. However, diversification should be managed carefully to maintain quality consistency and coordination across the supply chain.
Okay, so after building up a sustainable supply chain in Vietnam, the next question would be how do they scale up? What companies should do to prepare their supply chain for a long-term growth?
Companies should start by evaluating whether their current supplier have the capacity and capabilities to scale production in the future. It is also important to develop long-term production planning with supplier and maintain open communication with expected growth. Some companies also invest in supplier development, helping partners improve processes, quality system, or production capacity. By planning ahead and strengthen partnership, company can build supply chains that support sustainable growth in Vietnam.
Thanks a lot to Kim for your sharing today. It's true that moving supply chain from one country to another is not an easy job. A lot of our customers have been sharing with us the challenges when they move their supply chain from China to Vietnam or to another country in Southeast Asia. And we understand that doing it in a new market would bring a lot of hurdles. FVSource has been helping multiple clients to successfully move or develop their new supply chain in Vietnam. If you'd like to learn more about our strategies in building a supply chain for a company in Vietnam, please feel free to send an inquiry to our team. Thank you.
Bye bye.